Hello everybody, welcome to the second video of this series, which is for modeling. We will start making the pancakes and a plate. If you didn't see the first video, I have something I need you to look out for. It's three things. One is that in the left upper corner, there is object and edit mode. Every time I do something, I need you to recheck with yourself if you have done the things in the same mode as I did. The second thing is in the right lower corner, there will be all the shortcuts. That will help you to follow this so that you can recheck again with yourself if you've done everything as I did. And the third thing is there's this circle in the middle which can be easily accidentally moved. In the first video there is a chapter about it, so you can check it, but if you move this, Shift S, cursor to world origin. It has to always be in the middle of the scene. And that's it. First thing we need to do is we have to save the file. That's the essential thing to do. So I'm gonna Control S. You'll choose wherever you want to save your files. For the future, make sure you create folder for this so that you can always go back easily. But for now, we can just save it to desktop and you'll see if you like it or not. So I'm gonna save this to desktop and I'm gonna name it Pancakes tut 01. Save Blender file. That's it. Now every time I'm going to save, I can just Control S and it's gonna resave itself. Let's select all, hit A. In any mode you use A, it's for selecting everything. So select all, press X, that's for delete. Delete selected object, yes, we don't need any of this and I will show you how to create this back. That's for your practice. Now we have empty scene, we need to add an object, Shift A. And here we have a bunch of things we can add. And I want to add something called mesh. And the mesh is all the geometry we are going to be working with. And here we have a bunch of options, bunch of primitives we can choose from. And usually you want to pick something that resembles the shape you are going to do the most and that you adjust. We could pick cylinder for the pancake, but I'm gonna press circle. The reason I take circle is so that we practice a bit more. When you edit this object, there's gonna be in the left lower corner, add circle, select it, and it'll pop up some options. If you accidentally click somewhere else in the meanwhile, you can go back by pressing F9. So it'll pop up the controls again and you can work with them. So what's happening there? First thing is vertices. The vertices is the points that we talked about in the first video, which is the detail we have and it's the points we can work with. That I want to change to 16. I want to have a bit lower because later we are going to add the subdivision and I want to work with as least amount of geometry as I can, but also maintaining the circular shape. The radius I'm gonna leave at 1. It's gonna be large pancakes. And then you have a fill type. The fill type is interesting. We will be using nothing, but I'll just show you what is the rest. If you click on it, there is n-gon. The n-gon is going to fill the circle just with the one plane. If you're going to try to select it, it's going to select the whole thing, but it's not quadri, it's not squares. It's like everything is just one simple plane. If this kind of space is connected with more than 4 points, it's called an n-gon. Later when you get a bit more experienced, you will find uses for this. Sometimes it can be helpful for constructing some things, but generally you want to avoid that. The other option is triangle fan. The triangle fan is just all the things connected in the center which creates these triangles all around. It's not good for subdivisions as I showed you before and it has its uses. So I will go back to nothing. That was just so that you know what it does. Now that I added the object, I can click away. Before I start doing anything, I will press 1 on a numpad. What it did is I'm looking right from this front view. This sets me up in the front of the model. I want to do this every time so that I know where I am in the space. If you go to the left upper corner, you see all these axes. If I press 1, I see I look from this. I see I look from Y. Press 3, I'll look from the side. And if I press 7, that is an upper view. So remember these 3 and it's on a numpad. The numbers on a numpad on the right side of your keyboard. 1, 3, 7. The other numbers, they are just doing random movement. Also, if you press 1 and a 9, the 9 is flipping everything you do. So any of these will mirror it and flip it on the other side. So 1, front view and middle click. So left click the object, press tab. Now we are in edit mode. If you see something like this, it's yellow and nothing, press 1 above the letters. 1, 2, 3 on the left side of keyboard. The numbers above the letters. I'm going to press 1 for vertex mode. Now I have access to the points. So now I have points and I will want to take all of these points and I will want to take them up. So I will select everything with an A and I will press E, which is an extrude. After I press this, extrude is taking out all the points and extending them further. I don't like the way it is like this. It allows me to move anywhere. I want to lock it in an axis. I want it to be straight up. So I will press Z and now it's locked. So I can just do this with anything with mouse and it will stay locked in a Z axis. I will move it like this. I will left click, which confirms the action. If I would press the right click, it would cancel the action and I will get back. Now I will E again for another extrude, Z, and just slightly up, not too much, not as before, just slightly. Okay, that's good. Okay, I will press E again, but this time I will press S after it, which is for scale. Now I'm scaling it slightly inwards. I chose kinda bad view for this, so it's hard to check this, but I just want this slightly, something maybe like this. Now, while it's still selected, we need to close the hole. And since we are going to work with the subdivision, I want it to be closed probably with quads. I want the squares. Now we have to look for a function, which is F3 is search. In the introduction video, that was where you could choose space for this shortcut. And I will write grid fill. You can see face, Ctrl F, grid fill, press this, and it's closed. You have some options on the left, you can kind of ignore it. Most of the time it does it well automatically. If you want to try, just click with it, remember the numbers. There was 4 in my case and offset 0, and I will leave it like that. Good, we have half of a pancake. Now I want to take all of this and put it down. Just for view, I'm gonna press 1, I'm in front. I will select everything with an A, and I will F3 again for search, and I will look up Symmetrize. It says mesh, Symmetrize, and now nothing happened. What's going on? Why nothing happened? If you look in the left corner, you see a direction. And if you check the direction, it goes from -x to +x. And if you check the right upper corner, we see that the -x is on the left side and the x is on the right side. But I want to go from z down. So I want to go from z plus to z negative. The last one, positive z to minus z. Now, while everything is selected, there is a bit just a safety net. Press M, which is merge. Merge is connecting points together. And I want you to select by distance. There is a very long number on this, and it's just for cleaning up in case. So in case this middle thing wouldn't be connected, it would connect it. I will middle mouse and look away. And I will want to go to object mode. So the left up corner or a tab. Now I'm in an object mode. And I want to add the smoothing. I want it to be smooth. I want it to be rounded. So I will go in the properties. I will go to modifiers, the blue wrench. Press the modifiers. While the object is still selected, I'll click add modifier, generate, subdivision, surface. The level viewport is just preview. It's just for us to see what's happening. And the render is what's going to really show in the final image. Right now, I care about the level viewport, and I think the one for now is okay. There is a shortcut for the subdivision which I like to use. If the object is selected and I press Ctrl 1 on the letter side, I can go 1, 3, 4, and it adds the subdivision. So now the levels, we have the subdivision, we have it on 1, but the pancake is very sharp. And I don't like how sharp it is. And why is it? So if I go to edit mode, the reason it's so sharp is because these edges, the closer they are together, the more geometry is going to get generated in these areas, which results in a sharpness of this. Now I don't like this, so I might want to get rid of some extra geo. So I want to select this whole loop around and delete it. To select edge loops, I have to press Alt and select any of the edges. Now it selected all of the edges, and I want to delete this. And we have two ways to delete. There is so-called dissolve and delete. The difference is if I'll select X, we have the delete options, and I'll delete edges. You can see it created the holes. It really deleted the edges, but only those that we selected and left those in a between. I go Ctrl Z. I don't want that. I want the connection to still stay, but get rid of that loop. So for that we use the dissolve. The dissolve is getting rid of the things, but it's not getting rid of the connections. So I will press X, dissolve edges. And I'll do that on the lower part as well. So I'll look from down, Alt click, and there is shortcuts even for that. Ctrl X. Now I deleted it. This is much better. I like this much more. I will take all of this with A, press S for scale, and Z for the Z-axis, and I will slightly squish it down. Something I like. Alt-click the middle loop, and I will scale this as well with an S, just to make it a bit rounder. I go to object mode, and that's it. I have a first pancake done. Okay, that's good. We have a pancake. That's a progress. Now, I want the plate. Let's move this a bit out of the way. Let's move this with a G and Z. Let's move it up. And now, I don't want it to be in a way, so I want to hide it. And the way we can hide it is in a right outliner. We can hide stuff with this, with an icon of eye. If I click this eye, it'll just disappear. Or again, there is a shortcut, Alt-H, which shows everything. H for hide. The thing with Alt-H is that if you hide everything and then want to show one thing, it doesn't work, you just show everything again. Generally, if you want to hide one thing, do it manually in Outliner. Do it like this. It's simpler. One more thing that I could do is I could rename it so that I know what it is. So far it's called just a circle. Double click it, Pancake, and then hide it. Now I want to start the plate. The plate we are going to start same way. Shift A, add an object. I want a mesh, and I want circle again. On the left side, the properties that we had from before are going to be the same. In case you close the Blender and you are starting another day, it will be 32 again, I think. So just go back and select 16 and leave it at 16. Now I want to go from 1, front view, middle mouse button to get out of it. And I'm kind of going to start the same way I started with the pancake. I will go to edit mode. Now everything is yellow. I'll press 1. You have these 3 icons for that. You can do it even manually. But I will press 1 on the letter side, my vertices. And I will extrude S for scale. And I will scale down a bit, like this. Now I will repeat the grid fill function. If I go to F3, you can see the things I used. They kind of show up here again for the sake of the practice. Grid fill. And I'll use it. There is one handy thing. There's so much I'm telling you. I hope it's not so much. But I just hope it's not overwhelming. I'm giving too much information probably. But if you right click on any of the functions, you can add the quick favorites. And if you do that and you go back here in the viewport, you press Q, you have these quick favorites. These quick favorites are handy that you don't have to remember the shortcuts or anything or the name. You find it once, you put it here, and you can have large options that you use all the time and access quickly. So that's quick favorites. It's quite useful. I recommend using it, but you don't have to. But that's it. Let's continue. I will go to edge mode, which is the 2. I will click away from this selection and I will select the outer edge. Now E, S again. I'll want to adjust it maybe like this. That's good. I'll go to G, Z, and put it up a bit. I might take this inner one with an alt select, again with the select Edgeloop. Take it out a bit, take it slightly up, scale it with an S, maybe like this. And that's probably good. I'll take everything with an A, press 3 for face mode, or left corner again, and I will E. And now I don't have to lock. If the thing is filled, it locks itself. So I'll drag this down like probably this. We might want to adjust later, but we'll see. You do it how you feel it's good. Now I will click away to get rid of the selection and I want to go to face mode. And with the face mode, I can do the same thing with the edge loop, but I can do FaceLoop. So if you're going to select this edge with the face mode with the 3, which is on number 3, I will alt click this line and it will select the loop. It will select the face loops all around. And I want to take these loops, press E and drag this slightly up. Like this probably. We will adjust this a lot. This is the process that sometimes we go back and forward and we change things along the way. So I have this rim and I'll go to object mode and I will add the modifier again. So the blue range, add modifier, generate, subdivision surface. Now this is more of a plate as I want to. I'll select the levelers viewport on 2. I think I actually like this. I might not want to change anything about this. This looks fine. Now if you like this, you can leave this, but I want to show you another function that is very handy for modeling. Go to modifiers and select this television, the real time. If you do that, the preview is off. Now I want to go to edit mode. And this is a LoopCut. The LoopCut, what it does is you can see this yellow line and it's adding a detail wherever I drag my mouse over. So this LoopCut can help me with making the edges sharper. I will just show you quickly. For instance, I can make these corners look like this. And this is what it can look like if you want to. And it's by dragging these lines as close as you can to these edges. So let me go back. Now we are back where we ended before I started to show you, and now if you want to, we can add loops. The shortcut is Ctrl R. By scrolling the wheel on a mouse, you will add a number of cuts. If you select one, you apply it with left click, and now it's sliding the edge. Left click, you will apply the position. If I go back, Ctrl R, select one loop, and I right click, it's gonna stay in the middle. And if I don't like its position, I can double press G, which is sliding, and I can move it closer to the corner. And I can do the same thing here in the rim part. I can add a loop here, and I can check if I don't even have to go to object mode. Actually, I can go into modifiers, real time, and see how it looks. And it looks good actually. Maybe I like this more. I might leave it like this. And if you want to, you can always delete, as I showed you on the pancakes, you can always delete these loops. And to see where the loops are, just turn off the subdivision and then select those loops. Okay, I like this. This is good. So let's go to object mode, left click away, and I have a plate. That's good. I have a good, nice plate, which I like. So let's move this plate a bit in a position. I'll left click the plate, G, Z, move it a bit up. I can look from the front with a 1. And I can move it on this x-axis as if it's on a table. So I can move the G, Z, move it like this. I will get out of this with the middle mouse button, and let's show the pancake. We can go to outliner and click the eye, or I can Alt H and show it. Now we have an issue that must be solved. Now we have to choose. We will make a larger plate or a smaller pancake. And I will make the pancake smaller due to everything being quite large. So let's go to edit mode of this pancake. Press Alt, A, S. Scale it a bit down, maybe like this. Yeah, I like this. Go to object mode, and I will move it with a G, Z, and move it down. If you zoom in, you can see this outline of the mesh, and if you see just the outline and you don't see the mesh really, it means it's inside something. And I want it to be slightly inside, so it's either like this, or you put it inside. See the changes? So put it a bit inside so that when we use lights, there's not shadows as if it's floating or something. Now we have to duplicate these. I want more of these. More pancakes. I need more. Left click the pancake. Shift D, which is for duplicate. It gives me a free movement. I can press Z, lock it in an axis, move it a bit up. I can see I moved it too little. So G, Z, like this. Do the same thing again. Shift D, Z, move it up. Good. I'm okay with this, but I don't want the pancakes to be too perfect. I want them to be slightly disorganized. So we can G, move it a bit, R for a rotation, rotate it a bit. The same thing with the middle one, rotate it a bit, put it maybe a bit down. Now that I rotated it, it's lifting itself up. I don't want that, so GZ down, rotate, maybe move it again a bit. It's good. All right, we have kind of everything. I need last thing, and that is, I want this to look smooth. Right now it doesn't look smooth. And now just watch. If I want to smooth this with the subdivision, it's gonna result with a lot of points, a lot of geometry, and that can be very difficult for PCs, your PC or somebody else to use. It can be hard to move, it can be hard to work with generally. So we have this trick for it. And if I go back to, let's say 1, now you can follow with me again. And if I select this pancake and I right click, there is a shade smooth. And it's basically faking this smoothness, but you can see an outline that we can see is not so smooth. The rule of thumb is that you generally look from a distance you would want your picture to be from. Right now I'm seeing the outline being a bit angular. I don't like that. So while it's smooth, I will go to the subdivision and select 2. And from this distance, I think the 2 is enough. And if I needed more, I would probably use it in a render. I will tell you about it at the end of this series. So I'll go through all of these pancakes and go for 2. Levels, viewports, 2. so they are slightly smoother. I'll left click the middle one, shift click the lower one, and shift click the plate. That means I'm selecting multiple things at once. Now I right click, shade smooth, and everything is smoothed out. I'll deselect by clicking elsewhere, and that's it. We are done. We have made pancakes and a plate. Okay, that would be all for this video, and we have lots of other modeling we have to do, so there was a lot of functions now at the beginning, and I recommend you write it down somewhere and make a note, but it's also something that will set you up for the future. And from now on, I don't think I will use much more functions than I was using in this video. This was really the basics that you use all the time when you're modeling, so don't be afraid of it. Then there is not going to be thousands of functions, but I admit there is a lot. But once you get hang of it, it becomes much faster, and it doesn't seem that it's so much. Hope you like it. Let me know in the comments what part you didn't understand or you think I could have explained a bit better, or if I was too fast. But I hope it was easy to follow, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.